So in this question we asked to plot the point -7 to 40 degrees. Now this is the representation of a polar coordinate. We used to see rectangular coordinate in 90 set up in theta, which is an angle. So in this particular case, r is equal to -7 and theta is equal to 240 degrees. So what we do, we're gonna start by doing a sketch. We're gonna sketch it to see what it looks like. So let's start with the angle first. So 240 degrees looks like that. You turn around like that. It's around in the third quadrant, and you have it here like that, 240 degrees. Now with polar coordinate, the way you represent it, so this one is from here to here, the total angle is 240 degrees. 240 degrees. Now the thing with polar coordinate, when r is positive, the point will lie in the terminal side of the angle theta. So this is our angle theta. If r was 7, like a positive number, it will lie in here in the terminal side. But since r is negative, it will lie on the opposite side of the terminal angle. So it will be on that side right here. So this is I draw a ray that is opposite to that line, and then the length is 7, right? So I take 7. 7. So I assume that from here to here it's 7. Because I'm doing a sketch, I don't have to use the real length. So this is the point here. So it's -7 and 240 degrees. So that's what it looks like. So it's opposite to the terminal angle. So this is how you represent it. So we need to figure out which one of the graphs that we have these characteristics. So 7 to 40 would have been on that side like that. The length 7 to 40 like that. So -7 will be on the opposite side of that. So in the same ray, and then you draw a ray and you do 7. So this is -7 to 40. Now we need to figure out which one of the graphs in the answer choices correspond to the one that we have in here. So let's start with by looking at. So we can start eliminating these two that are here. Those two are already eliminated. So now let's look at this one, for instance. I see 180 degree here, and they're increasing. There's an increment of 30 degrees. So here is 210, 240 here. So when I look at the point that is here, it's on the opposite side. This is 210 degrees, and this is on the opposite side of 210. So that's not the right one. But let's look at this one. Here I have 210 here, 210 degrees, and 240 here. So 240, and on that ray, my point R, which is 7 is that length here, is on the opposite side of the terminal angle. So from here to here, 240 degrees. My point is here, and then I plug it in here. So this is my point. This is the graph. So this is the correct answer, A. Now after doing that, the next question is to find which one of the point below is not equivalent to -7 to 40. Now for any polar coordinate, r theta, any polar coordinate r theta is equivalent to this r theta plus 360 degrees, r theta minus 360 degrees, negative r theta plus 180 degree, negative r theta minus 180 degree, like that. So let's say r is 3, for instance, and theta is 60 degrees. That's an example. So this point is equivalent to all those points. So 3, and then theta plus 360. Theta plus 360 will be, for instance, 360 plus theta 420. So it's gonna be 420. It's gonna be also equivalent to r, which is 3, theta minus 360. So theta, which is 60 degree minus 360, so it's gonna be 360 minus 360, and I get negative 300. It's going to be also equivalent to negative r, so I take my r, which is just 3, and I make it negative, and then I do 60 plus 180 degrees, and I get negative 3, 60 plus 180 degree, 240. And next, negative 3, theta minus 60, 180 degrees, so like that. So 60 minus 180 degree, so minus 20, so negative 3 minus 120. So that's an example. So the point 360 degrees is equivalent to all those points, 3, 420, 3, negative 300, and so on. So to come back to our particular example, in this problem, what we're dealing with, we're looking for negative 7 to 40 degrees. So applying our formula that we have in here, it says you take r, so negative 7, you take theta, which is 240, and you add 360 to it, and that's gonna be that. When you do that, you get here is gonna be 600. Now next, you take r, which is negative 7, you do theta, which is 240, you remove 360 out of it, and that will give you negative 7, negative 120. You take negative, so you negate r, so r is negative 7, so negative of negative 7 is positive 7, and then you take theta, which is 240, and you add 180 degrees to it, and that's going to give you 7, 420. And finally you do negative r, so negative 7, negative 7 is plus 7, and you add you subtract 180 out of 240, and that gives you 760 degrees. So negative 240 is equivalent to those points. Now in the answer choices that we have in here, we notice that negative 7, so we notice that negative 7 240 is equivalent to negative 7 600, which is here. It's equivalent to negative to 7 420. 420 is here. It's equivalent to 760, and 760 is here. But we notice that we have negative 7, negative 120, but we don't see it here. We see negative 7 and 420, not negative 120. Let me put it in here. Yes. So like I said, 7 420 represented here, negative 7 600 represented here, negative 7 and 60 degree, which is represented in the bottom right here. The only one that is not there is this one, negative 7 420. So negative 7 420 is not equivalent to negative 7 240. So my answer choice is B here. Now finally, they ask me to find in a rectangular system, the rectangular coordinate negative 7 to 40. So there is a way of going. So this is a polar coordinate, r theta. So to convert from polar to rectangular, you in terms of xy like that, x will be equal to r cosine theta, and y will be equal to r sine theta, like that. So we can convert. So we have r, which is negative 7, and we have theta, which is 240, and so x will be equal to negative 7 cosine of theta to cosine of 240 degrees. Now y equals to negative 7 sine of 240 degrees. So x equal to negative 7 cosine of 240 degrees. So you take a unit circle here, and you notice that 240 degrees here, so its cosine is negative 1/2, and its sine is negative square root of 3 divided by 2. So all I have to do is just to copy those. Cosine of 240 degree is negative 1/2, and the other one, negative sine, negative square root of 3 divided by 2, like that. So the x coordinate is going to be negative, and negative is positive, so I have 7/2. And the other one, y, so negative and negative is positive, so So I have 7 square root of 3 divided by 2. So the answer is 7/2 and 7 square root of 3 divided by 2. So this is the rectangular coordinate, the rectangular equivalent of our polar coordinate. So that's how you deal with this kind of question.